We are recording.
Hi there, this is Lauren Fogelman, your business success coach with Business Success Solution, and I have Ingrid joining me. Ingrid, want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
I am Ingrid Edstrom of Polymath Bookkeeping here in Little Ashland, Oregon.
We are so excited about this call. We have been talking about how we really love the doTerra reps that we know, what the essential oils do, and had been talk about how can we actually support you better with your mission. And what we decided to do is come up with this webinar on how to really build your and nurture your doTerra business. So what we're going to do today is look at what you can do to be able to boldly claim your vision, build your ideal business, and share your unique gifts. Some of the things that we're going to cover during the call is to really discover why goals might not be working for you when you're on a mission. Also looking at the number one thing that encourages you to take a stand instead of faltering. How to get past that doubt and resistance that comes up as you're building your doTerra business, as you're looking to get more clients, as you're looking to build your team. And finally, how are you growing along with your business? Because I know so much about doTerra is that it focuses on personal development and that you grow along with your business to really get to that next level of success. So I just want to say that if you are a doTerra representative and you know that this is your mission, you've seen how it's made a difference for you or maybe somebody in your family, and you're excited about getting the word out, but sometimes feels that blocks come in the way, then this is absolutely the right place for you. What we're going to do is look at how to help you successfully create that vision, knowing that you see the power of those essential oils. You so much want to share it with others. And also maybe if you feel that you've remained too long in the same place with your business, it hasn't grown to the point that you would have liked it to have been by now, you are ready to really get on board with your mission and really focus on putting the energy into nurturing it so that you can help other people in the way that doTerra has helped you, then you are exactly in the right place. Ingrid and I talked about the internet and how so much information is freely available on the internet. But what I've seen is when you are looking at all this information, it's so easy to get overwhelmed. What does work? What doesn't work? And then to be able to look at how to be able to stay focused on growing a business that supports you as well as your lifestyle, as opposed to one that really consumes you. That's what we really want to look at, so that you don't put your mission on a back burner, ending up getting depressed or burnt out because you're putting so much effort into it and not really seeing the rewards. So today's training is all about really positioning you as the go-to person. You have a solution. You know people need it. You want to be able to get the word out and be able to do it in a way that feels genuine and authentic for you. Ingrid, go ahead and tell us a little bit about what you've done to be able to get to this point with where you are now and why we're just sharing what we are today with the call today.
Thanks so much, Lauren. Like Lauren said, I'm Ingrid Edstrom, Polymath Bookkeeping, and similar to Lauren, I just want to reiterate that I love working with doTerra reps. You guys are such a fantastic community, and the product that you support and get out to the world is making such a difference in so many lives. And here at Polymath, we've got quite a few wonderful doTerra clients that we really love assisting with the financial aspects of business. And one of the big pieces that I have seen fairly consistently across quite a few doTerra businesses is that doTerra reps often get started with a product that they're feeling passionate about and end up saying, oh, hey, cool, I'm going to try this thing. And next thing you know, you've got a business that is taking off faster than you ever anticipated that it would. And it makes a really, really huge difference in the mindset that you have as, oh, hey, I'm going to try an at-home marketing business versus now I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a business owner. And we're going to try to help you take some of those ideas to the next level. And I totally recognize that that's a lot of what you also work on with your uplines. And we've got some other perspectives from the greater business world that you may or may not be getting from your uplines. And feel free, as you're hearing some of these tips and tricks, take notes, share them with your community. We want to help the entire doTerra community because you've got such a fantastic product. And we want to help you take that product and turn it into your unique doTerra business that is rooted in who you are as a person and what your mission with doTerra is. And that's on a very personal level. So Lauren asked where I got started with that in Polymath. Polymath, you think about, it's a bookkeeping firm. We all know what bookkeepers do. They are the ones who sit there and plug numbers into the accounting for a business. That is part of what we do, yes. However, there's more to it than just that. Polymath has so much more to what we do here at Polymath. Our vision at Polymath is to make the world a better place built on a foundation of thriving small businesses. That is our vision. That is what we're trying to achieve on a bigger picture level. And we do that by nurturing, connecting, and manifesting that with our clients and showing that on a bigger global scale by teaching other people. And that's part of what we are doing here with you today. So I thank you all for being here, because by you being here, you're enabling me to live my vision by helping you grow your business, because thriving small business is what we are all about here at Polymath, and we want to help your business thrive. So one of the key things that I want you to start asking yourself as we're getting rolling on our call is, what is your bigger vision? What is your reason why doTerra is having an influence on you in your life? What does it mean to you so that your doTerra business is unique from the rest of the doTerra businesses out there? Because each of you is special and unique, even though you're doing very similar things. You have different target markets, different audiences that you connect with, and those are some of the pieces that Lauren and I really want to assist you with today. Anything you want to branch off of that, Lauren?
The first thing I just want to know is, do we have the chat on?
The chat is on, yep. So anybody who has questions, there is a chat. You can, just a really quick tutorial on Zoom. Zoom is the wonderful webinar engine we are using today. At the bottom of your screen, there are a few buttons, one of which is chat. So you can type questions in the chat window. We do highly encourage participation during our webinars. We love talking with you guys. And I'm really thrilled to see a couple of friendly faces, recognizable faces in the room. Hi, Lotus. It's so, so fun to see people we know here. And occasionally we're going to put questions into the chat as well to encourage participation. And I'm guessing with the tech I'm hearing, Lauren just posted, what is your biggest challenge? So within your doTerra business, is there anything that you'd like to find out about more today? Feel free to throw Lauren and I off the cuff. This is not a scripted presentation. We are going off the cuff. We've got a few key points that we want to go over with you today and make sure that you guys get to take home with you. But this really is about you and what you're struggling with. So go for it.
And what I'd like to just share about myself is that, first of all, I got to be home with my kids for 9 years. So I really feel blessed for having been able to do that. But I recognize that when I was home with my kids for 9 years, a part of my identity needed to be nurtured. And that was the part that had nothing to do with being a mom or being a wife or anything like that. I needed something that was solely mine. And that's when I started to look for things that I could do to really balance it out and allow me to stay home, but also be able to feed my soul in other ways. And I understand that there are so many reps who love the fact that doTerra is a lifestyle business. And I will say that after being home for 9 years, my husband and I owned a counseling agency where we had up to 11 employees working with us. During that time, I was the biggest income producer. However, it consumed my time. It really took time away from things that would be family events And it wasn't really a good fit in that way. I know that there were things that I felt like I ought to be doing as far as family goes, but there were things that had to be done with my business. And after working side by side with my husband in our business for 12 years, I knew that it was time for me to move in a different direction because I wanted to find how to do something that allowed me to share my gifts, which is helping people get unstuck and really achieve their full potential. However, it also supported my lifestyle instead of consumed my lifestyle. And recognizing that the people that I work more closely with in my business, business success solution, is about people who they're so passionate about what they're doing, but they want something that has prosperity, that has the ability to be able to support their life instead of consuming their life also. So that's really why I'm here with Ingrid, is we have partnered on other things. Teaming up with her is a lot of fun because it's almost always off the cuff. And that I know that Ingrid has a little bit more about what you might want to say down the road as we go through this call is really about the why, because Lotus is saying that, you know, there's some things that she's looking at as far as whys and deepening the whys and that sense of urgency to get things done. One of the things that goes right to that, Lotus, right off the bat, is I did a video earlier today for my people and on my blog about efficiency and effectiveness. And
the effing debate.
and I will just kind of cut right to the chase because I want to give you something right off the bat that's going to serve you well. I have learned from someone that Ingrid and I both know. Her name is the VA.
Oh, Audrey.
Thank you so much. There you go. I cannot think on stage. So anyway, I learned from Audrey about the difference between effectiveness and efficiency. And it's possible to be really, really efficient at something. However, it might not be the most effective thing to do to move your business forward. An example would be if you were really, really fast at climbing that ladder that's against the wall, but when you got to the top of the ladder, you realized that it was against the wrong wall. So yes, you were fast and you got it done quickly, but you didn't get the job done in the way that it needed to be done. And to just think about for yourself, where are you lacking efficiency? So what you're doing might not be the best thing or the fastest thing to get that result. And where are you ineffective? So that particular thing maybe that you think needs to be done feels like punishment. It's a struggle. You wish it would just totally go away. And that's part of why we're getting started with the vision instead of goals, is because that's going to actually dig right into it. But before I go into that teaching point, I just want to say that we're going to give you as much as we possibly can during this call. And Ingrid and I do not hold back. And what we're going to do is, if you're interested in deeper learning to really be able to connect with your vision, be able to step up as a leader in your business, whether you're going to be solo or whether you're really going to be continuing to build your team, be able to get other people into your tribe, we're going to show you how to really step up as that CEO of your business in a way that supports your lifestyle instead of consuming it. And we'll give you all that information at the end of the call. I just want to get into what is it about goals that just doesn't work when you're on a mission. And what I found for myself is goals were taught to me, the importance of them from the very beginning. In kindergarten, you were told to set goals in some ways, and all through elementary school, all through your entire school and education history, goals were always talked about. And what I have seen for myself, as well as the majority of business owners that I tend to work with, is we're kind of like mavericks and renegades, and we don't necessarily do things the way that everybody else does. We're looking to kind of carve our own path. And the reason that goals don't tend to work for visionary entrepreneurs like you are is because goals access a different part of the brain than where you tend to really do your best work. So goals tend to be very structured, very organizational. When I think about goals, I tend to think specifically about SMART goals, which are specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. SMART goals were created in the 1970s to help corporate America get their employees to maybe achieve 3 to 5% more than what they were already doing, because they recognize that if they can get the employees to do 3 to 5% more, then the dividends for shareholders could equal millions of dollars in that bottom line, which would make those people happy. So they came up with, like I said, the SMART goals, but what I found with SMART goals, or most goals, is that they're very static. So they don't have any life to them. They don't change as things change in your business. So either you're succeeding with them or you're failing. They're very, very black and white. And I know that so much of what happens and how I move forward isn't because of success or failure. Actually, some of the biggest successes have happened in my business because of a failure. So you have to have those things, but you need that gray area as well so that there's flexibility. So you don't want something that's very black and white. The other thing that I found about goals is that they're really, really boring. They're based... Well, that's my feeling. What can I say?
Absolutely right.
It's also why most entrepreneurs I know that are on a mission don't have a business plan. It is just really boring in that particular way. So Ingrid and I, what we're going to be doing, and we'll talk a little bit further about it down the road, is we're going to show you how to create a business plan that works for entrepreneurs that are on a mission, that do have a vision of changing the world in some way. But they are boring. They don't inspire you. It's similar to New Year's resolutions, and why most of your New Year's resolutions fail within a couple weeks. I mean, if you're still doing them by the end of January, you are like the exception, the 1%. But they don't inspire you, and the reason that they don't inspire you is because they're usually based upon something external, some type of metric or some type of number that you're meant to achieve. And the reason that you're doing your business and you're so passionate about it isn't because of something external. It's really something that's coming right from the heart as to a change that happened to you or somebody close to you. You saw the potential and it made this life-changing difference, and that is your mission of really sharing the word in that way. So things that are external when it comes to numbers don't really motivate visionary entrepreneurs. It's similar to the fact that while you're doing this, isn't really based upon logic. If you wanted to just get a paycheck, there's easier ways to bring income into your business. The other thing is that most visionary entrepreneurs are not motivated by money alone. What I have seen for myself, as well as the people I work more closely with, is that yes, money is important. We need money to be able to grow our business, to be able to support our families, a particular way of life. However, the reason that I do what I do is because I care so deeply about the entrepreneurs that I work with, and I recognize that they tend to overthink things. They have such high expectations that go beyond what the average person is willing to do, and that they sometimes get stuck because they don't want to fail and let someone else down or make a mistake and disappoint someone. So as a result of that, they hold back because there's too many shoulds. There's too many great expectations that are beyond what they're capable of doing, and therefore they resist instead of stepping into what's uncomfortable for them. So my mission is really, when I connect with those entrepreneurs that really want to make a difference and know their mission, that I want to help them to be able to step up where they would normally step back, so they don't have to worry for the rest, they don't have to wonder later on, what if I would have just done that? What if I would have said yes to that possibility? What if I didn't wait until I was a success in order to build my downline and build my team? And that is my mission of why I help people really take it to the next level, is because I don't want them to be burdened wondering for the rest of their lives, what if? I want to help them to step up where they normally step back. And so what I encourage for you to do, whether this has to do with this visionary business plan or creating your vision in general, is look at what is it that really inspires you? What is it that gets you up and excited about what you have to offer and how you're going to make an impact in somebody's life today because you reached out and touched them and just connected in some way. To look at, yes, the numbers are important, but the more personal you can make your mission and your why, the better. So that's what I'm really encouraging you to do, is to focus on the things that matter most to you and then create that vision of success, of what success would look like for you. How would your life be different? How would it affect the people that you're closest to? How would you be lifting people up along with you because you stepped up instead of step back, and really create that vision of what your successful doTerra business will look like? And the clearer you can get on that, the better, because it's that story of possibility and success that keeps you going, that keeps you on your mission, and that's going to keep you going instead of giving up on those really, really tough days. So that's why I encourage the people I work more closely with. The first thing is we've got to create that vision for you, and let's put the goals on a back burner. So Ingrid, I know that you wanted to talk a little bit more about how to take that stand instead of faltering.
Absolutely. I love what you were just saying, Lauren, about the goals versus vision, and want to bring that into a more specific doTerra example. If you're setting a goal, oh, hey, I'm going to get 3 new downlines this month. And that number 3 means the world to you. And it's specific, it's achievable, it's measurable, it's realistic, and it's time sensitive. You're going to do it this month. The SMART is intact there. Well, what happens if you reach that goal? Great, you got it done. You might have even surpassed it. There's a little bit of a boost. But what happens if you don't reach that goal? That's a drain on you. When rather than having goals, you focus on vision, you've got a bigger foundation, and that foundation will not crumble on you. So focusing rather than on, I'm going to get 3 new downlines, finding what your deeper why is. What is it that you love about doTerra? What is your message that you want to bring to the world through your business, through your doTerra business? And I even posted in the group chat, for those of you who joined us more recently, we've got a group chat window going. What do you love most about doTerra? So I would love to see some of what our participants love about what you do. Go ahead and type that into the chat window, because that's going to become part of our conversation. By focusing on your bigger why, you're able to have a clear, solid foundation of why you're doing what you're doing. And that is the difference right there between a business that is surviving and a business that is thriving. Because by bringing that why into it, you're going to be able to build a business that is more successful. You'll be happier while you're doing it, and you're going to have better connections with your clients while focusing on your own personal growth. What does the number 3 mean when you're looking for downlines? That number is just a number. It's a statistic. It's something on your report. What does the income mean? If you're shooting for numbers, and yes, this is the accountant saying, if you're shooting for goals that are based in numbers in your books, you are missing the point. Those numbers are the benchmarks by which you can measure your success. But the success has to be something that is so much greater than the numbers themselves. Shannon says, I love having solutions to offer and also being able to share my journey and what I'm learning about taking better care of myself. That is beautiful, Shannon. So you're reaching out to people and you're helping others. So by reaching out and helping others, by having a bigger picture why and how you're using doTerra to fulfill that why, that is what you use to connect with the people that you are reaching out to, your downlines, your clients, and that is where we need to start. And starting with the focus on that connection, in order to connect with other people, each of us needs to know who we are. and accept ourselves as individuals where we are. What are your favorite tools to be able to connect with other people? One of my favorite tools is called Predictable Success, and it's something that you can research a little bit after we're done with our call. Go to predictablesuccess.com. You can take their personality quiz, and it's a personality type indicator, but it breaks out the different leadership style roles into visionary, operator, and processor. And these different roles, visionary, operator, and processor, are the main roles that function within a business. And the big tricky thing is that you really do, in a larger growing business, need all three. Now, as a home-based marketing solution, for the most part, you're a one-person team. Now, you build up your downlines, and each of those downlines also have their business. You help each other out to a certain extent. But what happens when you grow your doTerra enterprise to the point where maybe you need a little bit of help? Maybe you need an assistant. Who is it that's going to balance your fortes, that's actually going to stick with you and believe in your greater vision and want to keep playing with you over the years as your business grows, rather than just splitting off as a downline and starting their own doTerra business? What is the difference between a downline and a team member within your specific business? And visionary, operator, processor can really help you to understand some of those bigger picture concepts so that you're building a strong foundation that you can really build big on. Because like Lauren was saying, it's not about the little minute goals, setting a number that's, small. How big would you like this doTerra boat to get? Do you want to be a Blue Diamond representative? That is within your grasp. And for a lot of the clients that we've worked with, it's happened quickly and it has caught them off guard. And that's okay. One of the main things that we want to think about is the fact that each of us, as a business owner, is building this plane as we fly it. Lauren and I are not sitting in front of you here on this webinar because we have all the answers. That's not how this goes. You have all of your answers. They might be buried deep inside, but you have your answers, and they might be different from Lauren and my answers. We're not trying to pretend that we know everything. That's not how it goes. Each of us is building this plane as we fly it, and each of us has a unique business that we are figuring out as we go. And part of how we figure out as we go is by being guided by our greater vision, why it is that we're doing what we're doing. For me, it's bookkeeping. For Lauren, it's business coaching. And for you, it's doTerra. And that's wonderful. So thinking about setting your vision, why do you love doTerra so much? For Shannon, it's having the solutions to offer and being able to share that journey with other people and taking better care of herself and being able to take that story of how she took better care of herself and sharing that story with other people that will learn and grow from her experience. It's all about connection. And as a home marketing company, it's really important for each of us to understand that marketing is all about communication. That is what marketing is. At its core foundation, marketing is communication, not just selling things. Communication is all about connection with other people. On the bigger why, outside of just our individual why we are in our businesses and what is our individual passion, the reason why each of us is on this planet is to connect with other living things. Whether that be other humans, animals, plants, the universe around us, it is about connection because that is how we learn and grow as individuals. And I think it's really, really cool that each of you is connecting with other people using these amazing, beautiful plant medicines. So you're connecting on multiple levels, which is awesome. And that's one of the reasons I love doTerra is it's just, there's so many great connections everywhere. So that piece right there, the fact that I'm able to see that and be right on your wavelength in loving doTerra, loving what you do, feeling your message. One of the reasons why Lauren and I decided to do this call specifically for doTerra representatives today is because in us, you have found your echo chamber. And the echo chamber is one of the key points that I would love for each of you to take away from this call today. Your echo chamber is the group of people with whom your personal message, as well as your greater doTerra message, will resonate automatically on a deeper core level, to the point where they will sing it back to you, thus filling your cup, and then continue to sing it to the heavens to the people around you. That is marketing. It is not about selling to people. And this is something that we commonly hear over and over as a frustration among doTerra and other home-based marketing representatives, is that they get frustrated with the goals and benchmarks of, oh, I've got to have this many parties, or I've got to get this many downlines in order to meet the benchmark for this month. And it weighs on you, and it gets frustrating, and it can be very discouraging. Whereas if instead of focusing on the numbers, yes, the numbers are important to be able to measure the path to success, but if the main focus is on connecting with other people and feeling that passion, anytime you feel that connection and you find that echo chamber, whether that resonation turns into a sale immediately or turns into a potential for farther down the line, it enables you to release your attachment to the immediate outcome of closing the sale, which can make the recipient you're talking to feel weird in that situation because no one likes being sold to. It focuses on the connection, it focuses on helping that person, and it helps that turn into a deeper relationship, which can turn into more referrals. All of these pieces take time to develop. They're not immediate. And by allowing these relationships to develop, by focusing on connection with other people, by focusing on finding your echo chamber, you will be able to develop those relationships over time and have them be more profitable in the long run. So as we are developing this with your team, your downlines, your clients, by having your why in place and being able to connect with other people in that core of who you are and why you're passionate about doTerra, that passion is contagious. People around you that are naturally drawn to your message will flock to it. And that is what is going to attract new downlines, new clients, and have those relationships become more profitable. And it turns that no that's previously been discouraging into easier yeses, or when it is a no, it's a not right now. It can become an easy yes later as the relationship continues to grow and develop over time. It also helps us to develop our reticular activating system, which the reticular activator is an actual part of our brain, and Lauren's going to talk about that a little bit more in just a minute. It helps us to develop the reticular activator so that we can more easily spot those opportunities when they arise. Do you want to take it, Lauren?
Oh, absolutely. You just touched on one of my favorite topics. So I'm like chomping at the bit here, Ingrid.
I knew it.
And I just want to also say that Lotus was talking about the fact that she's looking to buy a plane ticket to a training that is next week, and that what I'm going to talk about in a minute might really help you to really create that vision of how to be able to manifest that, and how she just loves to empower moms with these natural solutions, wanting to be an aroma touch instructor to teach others of their healing abilities just with presence and plant wisdom. And what I think is so important about that is that you're really looking at, Lotus, where your natural talents and gifts are, is to be teaching, and that it allows you to really share your gifts. And doTerra tends to be part of that system of how you're going to really help people to be able to heal themselves in some way. So that's what I'm picking up, is that you're going to be creating your thing, and doTerra is just one piece of that whole system that helps them to really achieve a solution and have a transformation in their lives in some way. So getting back to what Ingrid was alluding to with the reticular activating system, if you've never heard about it, it is a part of our brain, and what I see it as is your inner GPS. Just like when you have a friend that you want to go visit in another county, you've never been to her house before, but you have her address to a house, you'll go ahead and put the coordinates to her address in your phone or in your GPS, and all you need to do is take one step at a time, and if you follow each instruction, then eventually you arrive at your friend's house. So our brains have an inner GPS, and what that is connected to your vision. It's not connected to goals. It's not connected with the doing. It's connected to the outcome. It's about defining your moment of success. And one of the things that I did with a client that I just want to share how we use that in her business is she also has a network marketing business and was getting really frustrated with getting people on her team and continuing to build her team. She felt like she was either in the wrong places or that she exhausted her list of people that she knew, but she just wasn't being able to do it in a way that was resonating with her. It was feeling really hard, difficult, and it was draining for her. So what we did is we created that vision of success for her. And with that vision of success for her, it was about being able to have more time with her husband, because her husband was at a different point in his life and he was actually retired, and she wanted to be able to have the residual income so that she was freed up to be able to spend more time with him. But she also loved being a leader, and she had been a hero her entire life and wanted to be able to have something that was hers as opposed to being focused primarily on her husband and dependent on his income. So we really created that vision of what her successful business would look like and how she would have these right people under her in her team, and that they were certain types of people. They shared the passion, but they shared the passion in their own unique way. They weren't replicas or identical to who she was. They complemented her instead. And that by having this team, it would free her up to actually be able to travel more and spend more time with their family. So instead of her just having to work and continue to be focusing on building alone. So when we created this vision, we had to be in the here and now, as if she had already arrived at that destiny, that defining moment for her. And with that vision, we wanted to make it as experiential as possible, because with the reticular activating system that Ingrid was referring to, it really connects with story. It is the difference. It shows that our brains cannot differentiate between dreams or what you vision and reality. Our brain actually sees it and processes it and experiences it the same exact way. That's why when you're in your dreams, they feel so real. You're actually doing them. You're having those sensations. So with visioning, we want to create it in the same way, where it's a story. It's full of emotional. It charges you up when you think about it. It includes all the senses. And with this person's defining moment, we looked at what exactly that defining moment was, made it as detailed and specific as possible. Then we created the story by, at that defining moment for her, what was she seeing when she actually arrived? Who would be around her? What would be in her environment? But what would she be setting her eyes on? And then after we looked at the vision, then we looked at the hearing. What would she be hearing? Would she be hearing people clapping for her? Or would they be sharing their excitement and celebration and joy, telling her what a difference that she made in their life, or how proud they were of her? So we had the vision and the hearing. What would she be smelling? Would she be smelling the scent of oils on someone who came up to give her a hug? Would there be inside smells of air conditioning or outdoor smells of fresh grass? What would those different things be for her that would be the senses, the smells that she would be tuning into? After that, we focused on the kinesthetic. The kinesthetic is, what would she be feeling? Would she be feeling her feet firmly planted on the ground as she was standing tall and just drinking in that moment? Would she be feeling people giving her hugs or handshakes or congratulatory slaps on the back, but really connecting with that sensory experience? And then finally, what would she be tasting? Would she be having a parched throat and maybe going ahead and taking a sip of water that has a couple drops of orange in it or lemon zest? Or would she be tasting maybe champagne that she's drinking in celebration? Possibly the salt of her tears from joy because she finally had achieved that defining moment. So think about what that defining moment is for you. Create the story, bring in all your senses, make it into the here and now so it's really juicy and yummy, and then visualize it. But keeping it in the here and now in story form is really what your brain wants and needs. And then your brain's going to start to focus on the how. So the really cool thing about manifestation and visioning is that don't worry about the how right now. Just focus on what you want to achieve and why it's important for you to achieve that. And then the hows will begin to show up for you. The universe will do that work for you and give it to you in the form of an opportunity. And when those opportunities appear, then it's up to you as to whether you decide to say yes or no. So Ingrid, I know you're going to go a little bit into the investment of education for mission-driven entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. So one of my other big takeaways in this discussion is the key thing that really, really defines and separates the successful, happy, thriving business owners from the ones who are just surviving are the ones who are really open to investing in themselves, in their ongoing education. And I want to once again thank each of you for being here today, because you're investing the time into learning new things, into stepping out of your comfort zone, into picking up new information that might help your business grow, and acknowledging that we are all on this path to learn and grow and change. And that is a huge part of being an entrepreneur. None of us have all of the answers. And so finding ways to continue that investment, to really expand your knowledge base, have a hungry mind, and not just learn about the specific doTerra pieces, but if you really want to be an entrepreneur, how can you reach out and focus on your education as a business owner? One of the pieces that I really like to focus on with that, like I said before, is in the personal growth area. We talked a little bit about predictable success. So as far as your education as a business owner, what are some ways in which you can deepen your education as a person? And one big thing that I have been learning a lot about more and more recently is education into each of our personal vulnerabilities. How can we each get out of our own way and find new ways to get out of our own way every step along the path? I find that each time my business takes a leap forward, it's because I have found a new way to get out of my own way, where I said, oh, I had no idea that I was digging my heels in there and that it wasn't serving me in the long run. And I shift things. And so what mindset pieces might be keeping you and your doTerra business small? What is it where you might be diminishing your power as an entrepreneur and as a doTerra representative? How could your personal self-worth and view of yourself, your esteem, be blocking you from the big picture success, be standing between you and your bigger picture why? These pieces, these vulnerabilities, are ways that we can access deeper knowledge of ourselves and really connect with each other. Lauren says, you are the best investment you can make in your business success. My motto is that if it's uncomfortable, then I ought to be doing it. This has helped me to step up instead of stepping back. And yes, Lauren, that's been the exact same thing with me. I find that generally stepping out of my comfort zone is the best way to grow. When I am shaking because I'm scared of doing something, it means that I'm on the right path. And generally that leads to the fastest success. So what is it that you're nervous about? Where are your vulnerabilities? And how is it that you can bring your more complete self into your individual doTerra business? What is it about you that makes it so that your message specifically connects with your particular clients? What sets you apart from the other people on this call today? Because each of you is unique. Each of you is doing doTerra in a very slightly different way, or it could be that you're doing it in a dramatically different way. Each of you might have a very slightly different target market of people that are your specific echo chamber. And by bringing your deeper vulnerabilities out, you will connect with your echo chamber more completely. So focus for a moment on, what are you afraid of? What is it that might be holding you back? What is it that you're nervous about sharing with your downlines, with your clients? As far as helping each other, a lot of times as healers and as business service providers, we think that we have to be perfect all the time. And that is very much not the case. You don't have to be perfect. And the more you show your echo chamber that you're not perfect, the more they're going to connect with you. So think about the things, the pieces of yourself that you might have been previously hiding because they are quote unquote not professional. Who the heck wants to be professional if it means you've got to wear a suit every day? This is why we started our own businesses, so we could do it our way. So what is your way? How can you bring your full self in integrity into the picture? Knowing that the word integrity, the root of the word integrity is the same as the root of the word integer. It means to be whole, like to be a whole number. It is to be complete. And there is no way that you can bring your whole self to the game with your clients if you are not also serving yourself. And that is where we start to break out of the poverty mindset that is inherent with each business owner. Many of us start with the idea that in order to help other people, we have to practically martyr ourselves in the process. And that is not effective. I'm going to tell you right now, you can blow that idea straight out of your head if you think that the only way that you can help the people around you is by sacrificing yourself. That's not going to work. And that's one of the main ways that you might be standing in your own way. If you get the opportunity to read even one book this year, besides Lauren's fantastic book, if you get a chance to read one book this year besides Lauren's book, read Bob Burg and John David Mann's wonderful book, The Go-Giver. It talks about the 5 laws of stratospheric success, the 5th of which, the final one that you've got to actually get to the end of the book, I'm giving you the Cliff Notes version, you're getting the last one, the 5th of which is the law of receptivity. Now, many of us have heard about the law of reciprocity. What goes around comes around. If you help somebody else, then they're going to want to help you too, right? That's the law of reciprocity. The law of receptivity states that in order to effectively, truly give of yourself and help other people, you must be open to receiving. I'm going to say that again. In order to effectively give, you must be open to receiving. This is one of the big pieces that I wish I had learned as a business owner 8 years ago when I started Polymath, because tons and tons of ineffective client relationships where I was bending over backwards to serve people who weren't part of my echo chamber, who were never actually going to really feel the value that I was bringing to the table because they weren't a good fit for me and I wasn't a good fit for them, wasn't effective, but I was martyring myself to help them because I thought that was what I was supposed to do. Should is a dirty 6-letter word. Remove it from your vocabulary. There's no such thing as should. After however many employee relationships where I gave employees umpteen chances to get it right, thinking that I wanted to give them the opportunity. And sometimes I'm way too nice of a person. I was martyring myself and not paying myself to give these employees more chances when those employees were not a fit for my company. They did not get our why on a deeper fundamental level. Now that I've moved past those big roadblocks within myself, and I have been open to receiving the abundance coming in from my hard work, it has shifted everything for me. And I would love to have you guys, as wonderful doTerra representatives, to have that be something that you can shift for you as well. And it helps to shift you out of that poverty mindset of hunting for the next sale and needing to close, to searching for connections, and then being open to the receptivity and the abundance that that receptivity will bring into your lives. And focus on being open. And these are things that your oils can help you with. I love wild orange because it really helps to bring the abundance into our lives. So one little fantastic exercise you can do, grab your wild orange, put it in your diffuser, and anytime you smell that, think receptivity. I am open. And open yourself to those possibilities. And one extremely good way, just bringing it back around to the start of this part of the call, one of the best ways you can be open and receptive to that abundance coming in is by investing in ongoing education, whether it be by reading The Winning Point by Lauren Fogelman, wonderful book, by reading The Go-Giver by Bob Berg and John David Mann, going out and getting a couple books, or by finding a class that you can take with another local doTerra representative. By supporting them and being supported, you build community, you're building connections, and those connections creates this receptivity. By going out and working to help others, we create a rising tide that raises all ships. In order to have that be facilitated, you have to be open to being raised up also. You can't raise up the people around you without being anchored to the bottom of the ocean. It doesn't work that way. So focus on receptivity and being raised up by raising those around you and raising yourself in turn, and not fearing the success. Fear of failure is one thing. Fear of success is so much deeper. If on the one hand you want something, but on the other hand, your own actions and intentions are putting it off, then you need to find the ways to get out of your own way. And seeking that continuing education, seeking ongoing personal growth on a perpetual level is going to help you achieve that. Anything you want to stem off of that, Lauren, before we get into it?
No, you actually did a fantastic job, and I know that it's probably time for us to begin to kind of put everything together with that one last point.
Wonderful. So before we hop off the call, we've just got a few minutes left. While I'm letting you guys know what the next steps are, if you guys want to continue with me and Lauren on some education, speaking of opportunities to continue and invest in education, I would love to see if anybody has any other questions or your big aha moment, your takeaway from this call. Go ahead and type it into the chat. And I'm hoping that at the very end, we'll also have just a moment to unmute people. So we'll see how the next couple minutes play out. Lauren and I do have an educational opportunity coming up next week, July 15th. We are teaching a full day dive deep mastermind called the Business Growth Blueprint. And we're going to be getting even deeper into some of these topics. We're going to be talking about a bit more about setting your vision, mission, purpose for your company and actually really focusing. And Lauren just put the link for the registration for that class, so you can click on that link and learn more. For those of you who are calling in and not on the computer right now, it's businesssuccesssolution.com/blueprint. And it is the Business Growth Blueprint Retreat. So we're going to be focusing deeper on really creating your vision, mission, and purpose statements for your companies so that you can take your business to that next step with that solid foundation. Keeping in mind that building your vision, mission, purpose is a process that can take months or even years for some people. but you've got to have a nice, clear starting place, and it's really nice to have support with it. So we're going to be focusing on vision. We're going to be focusing a bit more on predictable success and some other really nice big picture pieces. And that is a fantastic opportunity where you get to spend a full day with Lauren and I. Anything you want to add to that, Lauren?
I just want to say that one of the things that I found for myself, and I know that you do this also, as you spoke about, is investing in myself. And that my bookkeeper has shown me that when I go ahead and invest in myself, my business spikes that month. So when I'm investing in one thing, there'll be a spike because of that. I'm moving my business forward. When I'm investing in a longer, because I receive business coaching also, it's not like it's one and done. It's an ongoing process of personal development and business growth. So when I'm investing with a business coach, my business will grow exponentially that year because I stepped up and I'm open to the receptivity. How do you say that? Receive? Is it receiving?
Receptivity.
Thank you so much. Receptivity. So I just want to say it's not something that we just talk, but we don't do for ourselves. Ingrid and I have seen the value of really investing in ourselves so much. And what I've seen with really mission-driven women particularly is that we tend to put ourselves on a back burner. We take care of everybody else first. And if somebody in our family needed something, we would go to all ends to make sure that they had it. However, we tend to put our own needs and what's going to advance us on that to-do list at the bottom of the list, and sometimes it actually falls off until some future date, some later time. As I talked about before, when you are connected to your vision, then you don't need to know how. The how shows up in the form of an opportunity. And the things about that opportunity, so that you know that it's really something that you should say yes to or not, is that the opportunity is usually ill-timed and it's inconvenient.
Almost always.
There you go. You know, it's like, why now? I can't do this now. I already have so much going on, but it's ill-timed, it's inconvenient, and you might have thought that it was going to show up in a different form or with a different person than it actually does. So when those things are happening, that's one of those things that you ought to be saying yes to, because it's going to be a game changer. It's going to turn that breakdown into a breakthrough.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Lauren.
Absolutely.
So we just have a few minutes left. I want to take the opportunity to unmute everyone. We had a few people come and go over the course of the call. And just want to remind everyone this is recorded. So if you missed pieces of it, we're going to be getting the recording out to everyone who registered. And if you have anything that you want to add, or a quick question, or most beneficial, just a takeaway, your aha moment, what was your favorite part? Please speak up. Someone was just saying something. Who was that? Oh, I was just hearing somebody. Okay. So has anybody had any big aha moments during the call? Favorite pieces?
I can go.
Hi, Lotus.
Hi, guys. So for me, the piece, because I've been wanting to spend time on doing my vision and sinking in, and I have like some idea of what I want my days to like when I come home, what it feels like, smells like, and all those pieces. But so for me though, it was neat to add in just to think about it again. And so then I wrote a few things about, like, because one of my goals is to take my whole family like on a trip, like my whole family, not just my extended family that I have stepchildren and my mom and dad, you know, like, but a huge thing. And I was like, oh, that'd be fun to think about what that feels like instead of just knowing that's something I want to do. So I was excited I started writing about what that would feel like and smell like.
And so Lotus, tell me, why do you want to take your whole family on a trip? What is the reason that makes you want to do something so big like that?
Because that's something that we would never be able to do. And my family lives in Florida and I'm in Portland. My dad and brother is in Florida. and they definitely have the poverty mindset, and no one can treat anyone to anything, and we can't, my dad never flies out here.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, and because it goes back to my mission of connecting, because that's really what I love to do, is just hang out and be with people. And then you can, like you all said, that's the key to life. It's being together and helping them.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you
Just
so
be-
much for this. That
And
is
I
a
feel-
beautiful dream.
Hmm?
That is a beautiful dream. Thank you so much for sharing that with everyone. And I'm really, really glad that this has been able to help you think on a deeper level about some of those pieces.
Yes,
So
thank you.
I think that's a perfect spot to wrap up on. We are at 5 o'clock. So thanks everyone so much for joining us today. And hold on, I'm just muting. And then there we go. Thank everyone so much for joining us today, and we will get the recording out to you and make sure that we are getting that recording out in email. And Lauren, you're going to take care of that piece in the next few days, probably?
Yes, I will. And I just also wanted to say that one of the things I figured out, because as a business owner, I tend to be fiercely independent and want to be in control of everything. But I recognize that leap of faith, I don't need to do the leap of faith on my own. I actually find that when I team up with that right person, or I know someone who's already forged that path and has accomplished that, what I want for myself, I can do the leap of faith with that person.
Mm-hmm.
And so much better, so much more fun than really struggling trying to figure it all out on my own. So just want to put that out there. You
Absolutely.
don't have to do it on your own.
Yep, absolutely. So the last piece, last takeaway, find something that you can do this week, whether it be a book or a next step webinar, signing up for something, have future you thank past you for taking and challenging yourself. Find something that you can do, whether it be our class, the Business Growth Blueprint Retreat, or something else. Find a way to challenge yourself right now that connects with other people and will invest in your ongoing education. And thank you again, everyone, so much for being here today and helping Lauren and I to fulfill our greater vision to help other business owners. We really appreciate this opportunity, and we look forward to talking to each of you again soon.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.